So, Steve, what do you do when someone comes up to the shop and doesn't like rye?
There are a lot of people that say that they don't like rye. So this is very common, actually, for someone to walk in and say, I don't like rye. And I think the first thing that I like to do is I like to ask them why they don't like rye. So what's the reason for it? And they might say it's too spicy, or I don't like the taste of it, or we've got one customer who swears that the finish is just bad on it. He likes the taste going across the palate, doesn't like. So I like to find out a little bit about it. And then the second question I like to follow up with is, what bourbons do you like then? So you're a bourbon person, what bourbons do you like? And oftentimes it'll be very high rye bourbons. It'll be like, I'm a big, huge Wild Turkey fan, or I love Four Roses, those type of things. And then I know that they do like rye, the grain, because they are actually drinking a lot of rye. So then at this point, I'm trying to figure out, is this maybe an experience to a bad rye? Maybe they don't like MGP ryes, which is going to be the most common thing utilized in a lot of source brands and stuff like that. Their classic 95.5 rye. So try to be consultative about it, and then just ask them if they're open to the idea of tasting ryes. And if we had somebody in here right now who said they don't like ryes, I think three options come to mind immediately. So the first one would be this one right here. It's from Nobleton's Distilling. It's called Tornado Survivor, but this one is 100% malted rye. So malted rye means that they've let the grain sprout, and of course, as you go through that change and it begins growing, of course, there's going to be some science going on, behind the scenes to provide energy for that plant to grow, and there's going to be a lot of sugars in there, and that's going to be a lot sweeter. So this might be a little bit sweeter version of a rye that they're used to. If they like this one, again, it's going to very much verify that they do like rye, because it's 100% malted rye. So the only thing that is in there is rye. Another thing that I might try is something like this. This is going to be an MGP rye, but it's a finished one. So this one actually is going to be finished in a vanilla extract barrel. So the idea here is take that MGP rye that you say that you don't like, and do you actually like it if something else is done to it? When you put the finish, this particular finish, this vanilla extract, and again, this is a one-off, it's not a common thing or anything like that, but you see what a finish might do to it. It might change the flavor or things like that. In this example, the vanilla extract makes it taste much more like a bourbon, kind of like every once in a while you kind of get a vanilla bomb bourbon. It's not overly done. It doesn't taste like a flavored whiskey or anything like that. And I think when you get into those situations, you might actually like the rye. It's going to change the taste of it a little bit. And for like our buddy who I said doesn't like the finish on ryes, he bought a bottle of this one. So because again, it changes that flavor profile at the end. And then last thing I might point him to is just a solid rye. What's a very good rye? So we've got one here from Wollersheim. They're out of Wisconsin. They're probably better known for the wines that they do, but they do a great job with whiskey too. And they've been in that business over 10 years now. And this is just a fantastic rye. It's a great value pick. This one comes in for $60. This is a 6-year-old rye that comes in at 121.6 proof. And it is just a solid drinker. Drinks easy, and you taste them on that, and more than likely, if they're open to the idea of, just saying that they hate rye and don't want to even be open to the idea of even tasting things, if they're willing to taste something like that, I think they're going to walk out with a bottle.
How many people would you say, if 10 people walked in and they all told you, I don't like rye, how many of them either leave with a bottle or say, try a rye and say, that's better than I was expecting?
This is going to be hard to believe, but I think the number is like 8.
Yeah.
I think it's as high, as like 80% of the time they'll walk out with a bottle of, a rye whiskey. And this is the person that walked in the door and said they don't like rye. If you walk them through that, it's going to change them. The ones that don't, the one might be like, these are some better ones than I thought. But it's still kind of not for me. And then you get the one that's just the horse's ass, that is going to be, no matter what you threw in front of them, they're going to tell you they don't like it because they walked in telling you they don't like it, and they're not going to change. They're just not going to change. So.